The massive alien ship hung in Earth's orbit like a shining metal mountain. Captain Olivia Wright took a deep breath as she stared through the viewport of the ESS Endeavour. After years of training and waiting, humans were about to meet aliens for the first time. The moment felt heavy with meaning. "Ready, Captain?" asked Commander Samuel Harris. His voice was calm, but his eyes showed worry. "As ready as we'll ever be," Olivia said. She straightened her blue uniform and nodded to the crew. "Let's make humanity proud." The small Earth shuttle left the Endeavour and moved slowly toward the alien mothership. Inside, Olivia, Samuel, and Dr. Elaine Powell sat quietly. Dr. Powell kept checking her data pad, reviewing what little they knew about the aliens who called themselves the Galactic Council. The shuttle was pulled into a large bay where strange lights scanned them. When the doors opened, they stepped out into artificial gravity and air that smelled like metal and spice. "Welcome, humans," said a tall, blue-skinned being. "I am High Commander Zortak of the Exertion Empire, speaking for the Galactic Council." Zortak led them through long hallways to a round room where 20 different alien species sat around a table. Some looked almost human, others were completely strange, from floating gas clouds to things that looked like walking plants. "These are the first humans to join our galactic community," Zortak announced. Olivia stepped forward. "We bring greetings from Earth. We hope to learn from you and share our knowledge." A thin alien with gray skin laughed. "Share? What could your kind possibly teach us? We've monitored your primitive technology. You barely understand basic space travel." Olivia felt her face grow hot, but kept her voice steady. "Every species has unique perspectives to offer." The aliens showed the humans images of their vast empire. Thousands of worlds, ships that could cross the galaxy in days, and weapons that could destroy planets. "Your fusion drives are outdated by our standards," said a bug-like alien, clicking its mandibles. "We use gravitic propulsion. Your ships are like children's toys to us." Admiral George Mason, who had joined them by video link from Earth, listened quietly. His face showed nothing as the aliens mocked Earth's fleet. "The Council has decided," announced Zortak. "Earth may join as a protectorate. We will provide limited technology and protection. In return, you will supply resources and follow Council law." "Protectorate?" asked Olivia. "That sounds like we wouldn't be equal members." "Equal." Another burst of alien laughter filled the room. "You are children. Be grateful for our generosity. Many species would simply conquer your world." Dr. Powell spoke for the first time. "What if we decline?" The room grew cold. Zortak's blue skin darkened. "That would be unwise. The galaxy is dangerous. Unprotected worlds often suffer accidents." After more talk, the humans returned to their shuttle. As they flew back to the Endeavour, Samuel finally spoke. "They're bullies. They think we're weak." "Let them think that," said Olivia quietly. Back on the Endeavour, Admiral Mason's face filled the main screen. "You did well. Return to Earth immediately." "Sir, they're giving us 90 days to accept their terms," Olivia reported. "They made it clear there would be consequences if we refuse." "Understood, Captain." Earth has received the same message from their fleet commander. The Admiral's face showed a hint of a smile. "Don't worry about their threats. Just get your ship home." As the Endeavour began its journey back to Earth, Olivia looked at the stars outside her window. The aliens thought humans were simple and weak. Their ships had been dismissed as slow and primitive. If only they knew what was hidden beyond Neptune. If only they knew what humans could really do. Dr. Powell joined her at the window. "They didn't even scan our ship properly. Too arrogant." "Good," said Olivia. "Let's hope they stay that way for about 89 more days." Deep under Lake Michigan, 20 people sat around a round table in a room with no windows. The walls were thick metal, designed to block any signals from getting in or out. President Natalie Rodriguez looked at each face before speaking. "The Galactic Council has shown their true colors," she said. They see us as easy targets. As pets, not partners. Screens lit up around the room showing images of the alien ships. Admiral Catherine Boyd pointed to the largest one. Their technology is impressive, but not as advanced as they want us to believe. Their weapons and shields are only about 50 years ahead of our public tech. The word public made everyone in the room sit up straighter. It's time to reveal Project Thunderbolt, said the president. Dr. Winters, please explain. Dr. Alan Winters stood up. He was an older man with kind eyes and messy hair. 15 years ago, we discovered something unusual while studying quantum physics. Most alien races found one path to faster-than-light travel using what they call gravitic folds. But we found a different path. He touched a control, and a hologram appeared in the middle of the table. It showed a ship that seemed to flicker in and out of existence. We call it the quantum displacement drive. Instead of trying to go faster than light, we move the ship temporarily outside normal spacetime. From the outside, it looks like teleportation. The ship disappears from one place and appears in another. Chief Engineer Linda Martinez added, it uses less energy than their gravitic drives. And it's faster, much faster. Their best ships take days to cross the galaxy. Ours can do it in hours. Why didn't we tell the aliens about this? Asked someone at the table. Fleet Admiral Boyd answered, standard first contact protocol. We needed to see their intentions first. Based on how they've treated us, we were right to be careful. Lieutenant Ryan Cooper, a young pilot with bright eyes, spoke up. I've flown these ships. The feeling is strange but amazing. 1 second you're near Earth, the next you're looking at a different star. No time seems to pass. Where are these ships now? Asked another person. The president nodded to Admiral Boyd, who pressed another button. The hologram changed to show asteroids beyond Neptune. We hollowed out 30 large asteroids. Inside each one is a fully armed warship with displacement drives. The exertions placed monitoring satellites around our system, but they only detect our public fleet. They have no idea what's hiding in plain sight. Our conventional ships make up the Earth Space Force that everyone knows about, Boyd continued. But our real power is the Phantom Fleet. 30 ships that can appear anywhere, anytime. Dr. Winters looked serious. We've spent 15 years building these ships in secret. We hoped first contact would be friendly, but we prepared for the worst. President Rodriguez stood up. The aliens gave us 90 days to surrender our freedom. On day 89, we'll show them what humanity can really do. The meeting ended, and people broke into smaller groups. Lieutenant Cooper walked over to Chief Engineer Martinez. I just got my assignment, he said. I'll be on the ESS Phantom with Captain Sullivan. Linda smiled. That's our flagship. Take care of my engines. Across the room, Dr. Elaine Powell, newly returned from the alien ship, was talking with Dr. Winters. They didn't even scan our brains properly, she said. They're so sure of themselves, they didn't notice I was recording everything about their tech. Perfect, said Dr. Winters. Their arrogance will be their downfall. Outside, snow fell on Lake Michigan. Deep below, humanity prepared its surprise for the galaxy. The aliens thought Earth was weak. In less than 90 days, they would learn how wrong they were. Captain John Sullivan walked through the silent halls of the ESS Phantom. The ship was hidden inside an asteroid, and from the outside, it looked like just another space rock. But inside was Earth's most advanced warship. Captain on deck called a young officer as John entered the bridge. At ease, John said. He looked around at his crew. They had trained for years in secret, and now they would finally have their mission. Lieutenant Melissa Daniels approached him with a datapad. Sir, I've worked out the tactical plan for the demonstration. We'll need to coordinate with all 30 ships in the fleet. John looked over her plan and nodded. Good work, Lieutenant. This will show the aliens what we can really do. Meanwhile, on Earth, the human government was putting on a show. They sent messages that made it seem like they might accept the Council's terms, They held public meetings discussing the benefits of becoming a protectorate. All of it was fake, meant to fool the watching aliens. Dr. Peter Morgan worked in a lab deep under the Pacific Ocean. He was finishing a special communication system for the secret fleet. This quantum link will let our ships talk to each other, even when they're in displacement mode, he explained to his team. The aliens won't be able to detect or block our signals. In orbit around Earth, Xerxian satellites watched every move humans made. They saw Earth's public ships doing normal patrols. They monitored radio signals and internet traffic. But they missed what was happening in secret. Commander Lisa Wong led a team of engineers making final checks on the displacement drives of all 30 ships in the hidden fleet. Each drive has been tuned to the pilot's brain patterns, she told Admiral Boyd during a secure call. This will make the jumps faster and more accurate. The Admiral nodded. Good. We need perfect coordination for this to work. In Washington, D.C., Admiral William Turner met with the civilian government. They were planning how to handle the diplomatic side of the upcoming demonstration. We need to be firm but not threatening, said Turner. We want them to respect us, not fear us. A government official asked, what if they attack after we reveal our fleet? They won't, Turner said confidently. Once they see what our ships can do, they'll know a fight would be pointless. On public channels, Earth discussed accepting the Council's terms. Fake news stories talked about the benefits of alien protection. Earth even started building a welcome center for alien representatives. All of this was sent on open channels that the aliens could easily monitor. But on encrypted channels hidden within quantum noise, Earth prepared for the big reveal. With only 15 days left before the deadline, High Counselor Drex R announced he would personally come to Earth to accept their surrender. He would bring 50 warships as a show of force. Captain Sullivan received his final orders while inside the hidden asteroid base. On my signal, all 30 ships will activate their displacement drives simultaneously. We'll appear surrounding the alien fleet in a perfect sphere formation. Lieutenant Cooper checked his pilot controls one last time. The displacement drive is showing green across all systems, Captain. In her office on Earth, President Rodriguez looked at the countdown clock. 15 days, 7 hours until the aliens would arrive expecting surrender. Send the message to the fleet, she told her aide. Operation Thunderbolt is go. Across the solar system, hidden in asteroids and secret bases, 30 ships with black hulls, and no visible engines powered up. Earth was done pretending to be weak. The time for hiding was almost over. The day had arrived. 50 alien warships appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system in a flash of blue light. They moved slowly toward Earth, a show of power meant to scare humans into giving up without a fight. High Counselor Drexar stood on the bridge of his flagship. He was tall with scale-like skin that shimmered in the light. These humans will make good servants, he told his officers. Their planet has many resources we can use. On Earth, people watched the alien ships on their screens. Many were scared, but they didn't know about the plan. Only a few hundred people knew what was about to happen. Captain Frank Martinez commanded Earth's surface fleet. His ships were the old ones the aliens had laughed at. They'd formed a neat line, as if ready to welcome the Council ships. All ships in position, Frank reported, ready to play our part. In the secret command center under Lake Michigan, Admiral Boyd nodded. Good. Now we wait for the perfect moment. The alien flotilla entered Earth orbit. High Counselor Drexar sent a message to Earth. We are pleased you have accepted our generous offer of protection. Prepare to receive our representatives who will oversee your transition to protectorate status. President Rodriguez sent back a message that seemed humble and accepting. But as she spoke, she gave a small hand signal to Admiral Boyd. The Admiral pressed a button on her console and spoke clearly. All Phantom Fleet ships, execute Operation Thunderbolt. Now, throughout the solar system, inside asteroids and hidden bases, 30 black ships activated their displacement drives at the exact same moment. Dr. Nicole Patterson watched the quantum reactions on her screen in the command center. Energy signatures are perfect, she reported. All ships have entered displacement. For 1 second, nothing seemed to happen. Then the sensors in the command center lit up with alerts. In space around Earth, the aliens were suddenly surrounded. 30 black ships appeared out of nowhere, forming a perfect sphere around the Council flotilla. The human ships were sleek and dangerous, with no visible engines or exhaust. On the bridge of the Turkian flagship, alarms blared. "High Counselor, unknown vessels have appeared all around us," shouted an officer. "Impossible," Drex-R hissed. "Where did they come from?" "Our sensors detected nothing approaching." On the ESS Phantom, Captain Sullivan smiled. "Send the message." A hologram appeared on every alien ship. President Rodriguez looked calm and confident, not scared or humble anymore. "Greetings, High Counselor Drex-R and representatives of the Galactic Council. Earth has considered your offer to become a protectorate, and we must decline. Instead, we offer an alliance between equals." Drex-R's scales darkened with anger. "You dare? Your primitive ships are no match for our technology." The president smiled. "These are not our primitive ships. Those are still in their formation below. These are our real fleet. Perhaps a demonstration is in order." She nodded to someone off-screen. Suddenly, all 30 human ships vanished again. The alien sensors tried to find them. "Where did they go?" demanded Drex-R. Then the black ships appeared again, but in a completely different formation. Now they were between each alien vessel, having moved in less than a second to new positions. "How is this possible?" a council scientist asked, staring at the readings. "They moved faster than light without creating any space distortion." Captain Sullivan's voice came through on all channels. "This is the ESS Phantom, flagship of Earth's displacement fleet. High Counselor, we request your presence for new negotiations." As equals, the aliens watched in shock as the human ships performed impossible maneuvers, appearing and disappearing faster than their sensors could track. Earth had kept its greatest technology secret, and now the Galactic Council was seeing the truth. Humans were not primitive at all. High Counselor Drex-R gripped the arms of his command chair. The screens around him showed the black human ships appearing and disappearing at will. One moment they were in one place, the next they were somewhere else. No flash of light, no energy signature. They simply vanished and reappeared. "Explain this," he demanded of his science officer. "How are they doing this?" The science officer looked scared. "Unknown, High Counselor. It defies our understanding of physics." On the main screen, Captain Sullivan's face appeared again. The human looked calm and confident. "High Counselor, I am transmitting new terms from Earth to your ship. We suggest you read them carefully. They outline a fair relationship between our worlds." Drex-R hissed. "You think your trick changes anything? The Council controls 10,000 worlds. Your handful of ships means nothing." Sullivan smiled. "Perhaps you need a clearer demonstration of our capabilities. Commander Scott, you may proceed." A small human ship appeared next to the Turkian flagship. Before the aliens could react, 5 humans in spacesuits materialized directly on the bridge. They wore no special equipment beyond their suits, yet they had somehow transported through the ship shields. Commander Elizabeth Scott stepped forward. "High Counselor Drex-R, I've been sent to escort you to negotiations with our president. Please come with us." The alien guards reached for their weapons, but each guard suddenly found their weapon was gone. The weapons had been transported away without anyone touching them. Throughout the solar system, the human ships continued their demonstration. Lieutenant Gregory Howard commanded the ESS Spectre as it performed a series of rapid jumps. "Jumping to position Alpha," he announced. His ship vanished from Jupiter's orbit and appeared next to Mars. "Jumping to position Beta." The ship vanished again and appeared behind Earth's moon. "Jumping to position Gamma." Now the ship was beside the Council's largest battleship. Each jump happened in less than a second. There was no delay, no buildup of energy, no trail to follow. On Earth, Dr. Benjamin Lewis stood before a group of stunned alien scientists who had been invited to observe. "The displacement drive doesn't move through space," he explained. "It moves the ship temporarily outside normal spacetime, then returns it at different coordinates. From your perspective, it looks like teleportation." One alien scientist, a floating gas being inside a containment suit, moved forward. "But this violates fundamental laws of physics as we understand them." Dr. Lewis smiled. "Your understanding was incomplete." Back at the Xerxian flagship, Drexar watched in growing horror as reports came in. The humans had teleported 20 of the Council's communication satellites back to Earth without damaging them. They had appeared inside the engine rooms of 5 different battleships at the same time. Most impressive of all, one human ship had transported an entire empty Xerxian cruiser from one side of the fleet to the other, without the crew on board feeling anything. "Impossible," whispered a Xerxian military advisor. "Their technology. It makes our weapons useless. We can't fight against ships that can appear inside our own vessels at will." Drexar knew the advisor was right. If the humans wanted to, they could place bombs inside every Council ship simultaneously. They could kidnap every captain. They could even steal entire ships. "How long have they had this technology?" asked another Council member. "They must have been hiding their true capabilities for years." Commander Scott stood patiently on the bridge. "High Counselor, will you come willingly to the negotiations, or should we demonstrate our capabilities further?" Drexar looked at the human ships on the screens. They were still appearing and disappearing, moving faster than his sensors could track. Each one could be anywhere at any time. For the first time in his long life, Drexar felt fear. The humans weren't primitives to be conquered. They were something else entirely. "I will come," he said quietly. "Contact your president. Tell her I am ready to discuss new terms." News of Earth's amazing ships spread quickly through the galaxy. The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting on their central world, Proxima Centauri II. Representatives from 500 species gathered in the giant meeting hall. High Counselor Drexar looked tired. The proud alien had barely slept since the human demonstration. He knew his empire's power was now in question. Ambassador Diana Clark stood before the council. She was a tall woman with dark skin and a calm voice. As Earth's main diplomat, she had the important job of presenting Earth's demands. "Earth asks for 3 things," she told the silent room. "First, full recognition as a sovereign power. Second, the right to form alliances with any world we choose. Third, an end to the practice of forcing worlds to become protectorates." Angry voices filled the room. Many council members shouted that humans had no right to make demands, but others stayed quiet, watching carefully. A small green alien named Krill stood up. His people, the Vespians, had been under Xerxian control for centuries. "The humans have shown us something important. The Council is not as powerful as it claims. Perhaps it is time for changes." Other species began to speak up. Many had been bullied by the Xerxians, just like Earth had. They saw an opportunity in this power shift. Drexar finally rose to speak. "The Xerxian Empire has kept peace in this galaxy for 1,000 years. We will not be threatened by one species with a few special ships. If the humans want war, we will give them more." But even as he threatened war, everyone could see the fear in his eyes. How could they fight an enemy that could appear anywhere at any time? That very moment, as if to answer the question, 5 human ships appeared inside the council chamber itself. They hovered silently above the shocked aliens. Vice Admiral Henry Miller's voice came from the lead ship. "We mean no disrespect to the council. We simply wish to demonstrate that distance means nothing to our fleet. We have visited the homeworlds of every major council species today, peacefully and without incident." The ships vanished as quickly as they had appeared. Ambassador Clark smiled calmly. "As you can see, we could have chosen a very different approach. Instead, we extend a hand in friendship." The council fell into arguing. Some wanted to learn from humans, while others saw them as dangerous. The unity that had held the Galactic Council together for centuries was breaking apart. Captain Tanya Lewis met with leaders from 20 different worlds that day. Each one wanted to know if Earth would protect them from the Exurgents. Earth does not seek to replace one empire with another, she told them. We believe each world should be free to choose its own path. Dr. Julie Anderson presented evidence to a small committee showing how the Exurgents had been secretly taking resources from their protectorate worlds. Many council members were shocked by these revelations. The Exurgents claimed to protect these worlds, Dr. Anderson explained. In reality, they were exploiting them. By the end of the day, Earth had formed a new alliance with 15 independent worlds. They called it the Free Worlds Coalition. More planets were asking to join every hour. Vincent Gray, a political expert from Earth, watched all of this unfold from the human embassy. He had predicted exactly this outcome. The Council splitting into factions, smaller worlds seeking Earth's protection, the Exurgents struggling to maintain control. This isn't just about our special ships, he told President Rodriguez over a secure channel. It's about giving hope to worlds that had none. The galaxy is changing, and we started it. On the journey back to Earth, Ambassador Clark looked out at the stars. The galaxy had been the same for 1,000 years under Exurgent rule. Now, in just one day, everything had changed. And it all began because humans found a different way to travel between stars. 2 weeks after the council meeting, Earth was celebrating. New trade deals were being signed. Alien visitors walked the streets of major cities. The future looked bright, but not everyone in the galaxy was happy about the new balance of power. On Titan, Saturn's largest moon, Earth had built a research center to study the displacement drive. Scientists from Earth and friendly alien worlds worked together to improve the technology. Major Eric Johnson stood at the window of the security office, looking out at the icy landscape. Something felt wrong today. Security scans had shown small energy spikes near the base, but search teams found nothing. "Major, we have a problem," said a young guard at the monitoring station. "We're picking up unusual readings near the east entrance." Before Eric could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. The wall exploded inward, and strange alien soldiers poured through the gap. They wore black armor and carried weapons Earth had never seen before. "We're under attack," Eric shouted into his communicator. "All personnel to emergency stations." The attackers moved with purpose, heading straight for the main lab. They knew exactly where to go. Lieutenant Laura Wilson ran to the hangar where the experimental ships were kept. She jumped into the cockpit of a small displacement-capable interceptor. The ship hummed to life as she activated the systems. "This is Lieutenant Wilson. I'm taking Interceptor 5 to defend the facility." The small ship shot out of the hangar. Laura activated the displacement drive, jumping to positions around the base. She fired precise shots at the attackers' ships, disabling their engines. Inside the lab, Dr. Kevin Stewart grabbed the most important research data and shoved it into a secure case. Alien soldiers were just outside the door, cutting through with energy tools. "Get to the emergency transport," he shouted to his team. "Take different routes. We can't let them capture all of us." As the door began to glow red from the cutting tools, Kevin slipped through a back exit. He ran down empty corridors, hearing the sounds of fighting throughout the building. In orbit around Titan, Captain Christopher Allen received the distress call. His ship, the ESS Defiant, was on patrol nearby. "All hands to battle stations," he ordered. "Prepare for immediate jump." The Defiant vanished from its position and appeared directly inside the attacker's flagship. The sudden appearance of a human warship inside their own vessel threw the aliens into confusion. "This is Captain Allen of Earth's displacement fleet," his voice boomed through the alien ship. "Power down your weapons, or we will be forced to take action." On Earth, Admiral Boyd received reports of the attack. "Who's responsible?" she demanded. "The Drakari, High Counselor," replied her aide. "A militaristic faction within the Council. They were trying to steal displacement technology." The Admiral's face hardened. They won't be the last. Implement new security protocols across the fleet. No ship jumps alone anymore. Always in pairs. After the attack was repelled, Earth discovered something disturbing. In the Drakari computers, they found evidence of other species who had developed similar technology. All of them had been wiped out or conquered by the Exercians centuries ago. They'd been doing this for 1,000 years, Dr. Stewart told the Emergency Council. Any species that finds a technology path different from theirs gets eliminated. But why? Asked President Rodriguez. Control, replied Admiral Boyd. If everyone uses the same technology, it's easier to maintain power. Our displacement drive represents something they can't control. That night, Captain Sullivan met with the President and her advisors. The Exercians have been systematically suppressing technological advancement throughout the galaxy. They don't want competition or innovation. Then why didn't they just attack us directly? Asked an advisor. Because they're afraid, Sullivan said simply. Our technology is too different, too unpredictable. They tried to steal it first. When that failed, they'll try other methods. What happens now? Someone asked. Admiral Boyd looked grim. Now we prepare. This was just the first attempt. They won't stop until they have our technology, or until they're sure they can't get it. Either way, the galaxy is changing forever. 1 year had passed since Earth revealed its displacement fleet to the galaxy. The day was sunny as world leaders gathered in Geneva for the signing of the new Galactic Concordat. The agreement would change how species across the stars lived together. Captain John Sullivan stood tall in his dress uniform. His crew lined up behind him as President Rodriguez pinned medals on each of them. For bravery and excellence in the face of overwhelming odds, she said as she reached Sullivan. The people of Earth thank you. Sullivan looked out at the crowd. Humans stood side by side with aliens of all shapes and sizes. A year ago, most people didn't even know aliens existed. Now they were partners. Dr. Elaine Powell had been busy too. After studying both human and alien technology, she now led a team of scientists from 20 different species. The Multi-Species Propulsion Initiative is making great progress, she told a group of reporters. By combining our different approaches to physics, we're creating new technologies that none of us could have developed alone. The biggest change was for the Exercian Empire. After centuries of control, they had been forced to release dozens of worlds from their grip. These newly free planets were joining Earth's growing alliance. The universe is better when every species can choose its own path, said Ambassador Clark as she signed the Concordat on behalf of Earth. In a training center orbiting Mars, Lieutenant Melissa Daniels worked with pilots from 15 different species. They were learning to use simplified versions of the displacement drive. Feel the moment between spaces, she instructed a nervous alien pilot. Don't try to understand it with your mind. Feel it with your instincts. Earth had decided to share limited versions of their technology with trusted allies. Not the full displacement drive, but enough to help protect them if the Exercians ever tried to regain control. The new alliance called itself the Interstellar Cooperative. Unlike the Galactic Council, every world had an equal vote, no matter how big or small. Commander Samuel Harris now worked as the diplomatic liaison to formerly subjugated species. Many of these worlds had been under Exercian control for generations and needed help building their own governments. We don't want to tell you how to live, he explained to the leaders of a newly freed world. We just want to help you find your own way. At the ceremony in Geneva, President Rodriguez unveiled a special memorial. It honored the scientists who had secretly developed the displacement drive 15 years earlier. Many had died before seeing how their work changed the galaxy. They never sought glory, the president said. They simply wanted to protect Earth. In doing so, they freed hundreds of worlds. After the ceremony, Captain Olivia Wright and Admiral George Mason stood on a balcony watching ships from 20 species landing at the spaceport below. Some used traditional engines, others used gravity drives, and a few used new hybrid systems developed in the past year. Remember when the Xerxians laughed at our ships? Olivia asked with a smile. The Admiral nodded. They thought technology was only about weapons and speed. They forgot about imagination. A small child, half human and half alien, ran past them, chasing a floating toy. The sight would have been impossible to imagine a year ago. What happens next? Olivia asked. Mason looked up at the stars, just becoming visible as the sun set. We explore. We learn. We grow, together with our new friends. In the distance, Earth's displacement fleet performed a ceremonial jump, 30 ships vanishing and reappearing in perfect formation. But they were no longer alone. Ships from other worlds now flew alongside them, not as powerful perhaps, but as equals. The secret fleet that once hid in asteroids now protected a growing family of worlds. And somewhere out in the vast galaxy, other species who had been hiding their own secrets watched with hope. Perhaps they too could soon join this new community of equals among the stars.